Welcome back everyone. In today's video I'm going to show you how to make the ultimate mobile table saw station with folding outfeed table and ample storage. My rigid job site table saw is what I've been using for quite a long time, and that is because I have a small shop. It's a one-car garage, and within about 18 by 12 feet of space I have to make everything work, and I've got to find storage and room for everything. I also have to have enough space to actually move around and do some work in here. So it's always been a challenge, and the job site table saw has served me pretty well over the years. There are a few downsides to a job site table saw. Of course, it doesn't have an adequate outfeed. It is possible to make an outfeed solution for your job site table saw, but I found that it was just a pain to have to set up and take down all the time. It was also kind of low for me. I'm 6 feet tall, so the job site table saw as a standard height was such that I would be hunching over the table saw a little bit, and that didn't really work well for me. Especially as I'm getting older, I don't want to have to be hunching over my work. And so, as you know from last week's video, I bought a new Dewalt 8 1/4 inch compact table saw, and now it's time to build a workstation for that. I will post plans on my website for this particular workstation. Keep in mind that if you purchase the plans, you can adjust the size of it however it suits you. Work surfaces for me have to be just above waist level, which is perfect for me in terms of mobility and in terms of being able to access things on the work surface without hunching over. The other thing I wanted to add to it was some storage, and I wanted to have a really decent sized outfeed table attached to it that could fold down so that when I store away the table saw, it doesn't get in the way at all. And now with that, let's get to it.
So the nice thing about this is the locks are actually really good on these wheels, and I can flip the wheels around, access the locks from any side. That's not going anywhere. So now it's no longer a mobile cart. I'll put the runners in for the top drawer, but for the actual table saw shelf, I've got a piece already cut here. My table saw will go on that. Just like that. Okay, so first I'm going to start by saying I did my drawers a little different from what are going to be in the plans on my website. The drawer boxes in the plans have the sides going right to the ends, and they're joined using rabbet joints, which are much easier to cut than these dados that I cut on the miter saw. It's just a little less work. You can do rabbet joints quite easily on the table saw, super quick. The reason why I deviated from the plan is because for my personal version of this, I'm actually going to add some handles on the inside. I wanted to have the sides inset for that purpose because I want these boxes to be able to come right out of the cabinet and be transported independently if need be. So if you're building this, build the boxes as per the plan. It'll be a lot easier to install the drawers, trust me. To make sure that the drawer action comes in and out smoothly, I'm going to have to add extra runners now because of this style. So that small design change makes kind of a big impact. And yes, I did kind of regret it, but the ship has sailed and I'm going to have to live with that, and that's just one of those things. It's not a big deal. It's still going to be really great to have these drawers, and I'm not really worried about it. What I really wanted to talk to you guys about in this particular section of the video is I want to do a little clinic on drawer bottoms. My system for doing drawer bottoms has changed over the years. I've tried cutting rabbets at the bottom all around the drawer and doing an inset style drawer bottom. I've also tried cutting a dado all the way around, and basically it's a slot that I can fit the drawer bottom into and slide it in. The other thing you can do is just simply have the plywood on top, or rather on the bottom, and nail or screw it into the bottom edge of the plywood. But the system that I've come up with that works best for me and that I use for all boxes now is I install cleats all the way around the inside bottom of the drawer, or the box. In this case, any box really. You can glue this in edge to edge, and it just basically becomes a thicker piece of plywood. And all you gotta do is drop your drawer bottom in from the top, and you're done. And you can either fasten it or glue that drawer bottom in place if you want it permanent. If you want it removable, you can leave it loose. Doesn't really matter. Gravity will do all the work after that. Now I'm going to trim these cleats down. These cleats are about 1/2 inch, I believe. Yeah. So these are 1/2 inch cleats that I prepared for this. The other thing I find with this method is that it is a lot stronger too. I've got some boxes that I use for groceries and things like that that have this style of drawer bottom, and I can tell you it can take over 150 pounds in a small box, no problem. The bottom doesn't drop out. There's no way for that to go anywhere. It works fantastic. Once these are glued in, they are permanently glued in. Simple as that, just glue and brad nail the parts in, and you've got your cleats for your drawer bottoms. And then you just throw in your drawer bottom. And you got a drawer box. Now at this point you could glue it in and put some weight on it. You could definitely brad nail it in. If you just want to throw a couple of brad nails to keep it in place, you can do that, which is what I might do. That's it. It'll be fine. It'll all come together. I didn't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I had to add some high density plastic runners on the bottom, just at the front, to allow the drawers to align properly as they come in and out. So that will help this style of drawer go all the way to the back and front somewhat smoothly. Without running out of alignment. So now I don't get that, because they're such big drawers and there's that gap on either side, when you're pushing them in, you don't want it to get stuck. So this works out pretty well. Alright, so now I think I'll take you on a little tour of this workstation. Nice big drawers here for storage. We're going to be able to put a lot in those. It's going to be pretty good. I'm I'm really happy to have that extra storage. Everything's accessible from this side. The rack and pinion fence is easily accessible from this side. You lock it in, release it. Around this side, we of course have the outfeed table. So all in all, I have almost 4 feet of table surface between the saw and the outfeed, which is something I never had before. I've always had to sort of come up with a workaround with my job site saw. Dust collection tube goes into the dust collection port. We've got good quality wheels on this. And this thing is not going to move at all once all 4 wheels are locked. Even with the outfeed table extended, I can still work the rack and pinion fence so it doesn't obstruct it in any way. So everything is working symbiotically on this table saw now. The whole saw station becomes an extension of the table saw itself. So I can access my drawers quite easily. So if I put my push sticks, my push blocks, maybe even a few of my jigs in the drawers, everything's always there at my fingertips. I can just pull it alongside my workbench, and my workbench now becomes an additional side outfeed table. If I'm cutting pieces of plywood that are say 3 or 4 feet in length, I can use my workbench as side support for the entire table saw. All I have to do is just park it right beside it. You know, that gives me an additional 4 feet going this way. I've got 4 feet going that way. So that is how I designed the height of it. First, to match the height of my workbench, and second, to make this completely mobile and easy to store when I'm done.
Well, that concludes building a mobile table saw station with storage and a folding outfeed table. I can't tell you how thrilled I am to have this new tool and this new workstation in my workshop. This is going to be so functional for me, and it's going to make my life a lot easier. In the last couple of weeks, I've gained a new table saw with a riving knife and an outfeed table and storage to boot. So I'm quite happy with the entire solution. Now don't forget, the plans for this table saw station is on my website as of today. Go check the description below for the link to my store where you'll find the table saw plans. They will cost you about the same price as your favorite pint of beer. If you want to help me continue to make and edit these videos, head on over to my donation page right over here. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. There are a couple more videos on this side you can watch. Until next time, thanks for watching and have a great day.